Welcome to Bombshells and Cocktails. As you can see, I have stepped out of the 1940s and 1950s and gone back in time to the 1920s, 1930s. You can't fail to have missed the Great Gatsby that's out at the moment. I went to see it last weekend. I was really inspired by it. From a stylistic perspective, it was a beautiful, beautiful film. But I kind of didn't want to get on the Gatsby bandwagon. There's so much stuff out there and it's really good. So although this isn't a Gatsby specific tutorial, what this is a sort of homage to the 1920s, 1930s. I think it's a beautiful point in history, sort of visually, stylistically. Things kind of exploded a little bit, colours got bolder, makeup got brighter, makeup was even worn. Coming out of the Victorian times, makeup was really frowned upon. Get into the 1920s, 1930s, and it suddenly all explodes. Women were sort of given permission to have a little bit more fun, and that's exactly what they did. They cut their hair, they wore makeup, they wore bold colours. So from a historical perspective, I think it's a really interesting point in time. But about the hair specifically, this look is one that was inspired by a series of pictures, inspired a little bit by the film as well. I was looking up lots of authentic 20s and 30s photographs, and I was really looking as well at the sort of the Vogues from that time as well. You can find lots of stuff on the internet about this. And it's kind of a mixture of looks that I found. So what I've tried to do today is to create a finger-waved look without having to finger wave. If you've ever tried finger waving, you'll probably know how challenging, how difficult finger waving is. I can do it, I can't do it that well if I'm perfectly honest with you, but I think that you can create the illusion of finger waves quite easily with this kind of look, and you hide a multitude of sins under the scarf. As well as doing the hair today, there is also a makeup look that goes along with this too. It's my first makeup specific tutorial, so I hope you like it. It's the makeup that you see me in at the moment, and I'll link you up to that down below in the description bar. But onto the hair, and I hope you enjoy it. Take care, bye. Okay, so I'm just going to start by sectioning off the front part of my hair. Forgive my scary face, this is sort of in preparation for the makeup tutorial which I'm going to do later just while everything's setting. So, you only want to take a small section because we're going to be hiding an awful lot under the scarf. So you don't want to take it too far back. So I'm just going to take first of all, we do need to create that side part. So a deep side part as normal. Find the part, and I would say about a couple of inches up.
I've seen for days that you've got some ways that must be checked, and you are never can detect the slightest signs of intellect.
What I'm going to do now is use a 1/4 inch curling iron and curl it all under, just down the way, exactly the same on the other side, taking probably about 1/2 inch sections all the way down and just pinning it into place with pin curl clips just to let it cool down. So I have gone and done my makeup, as you can see. I hope you like the look the makeup look that goes along with the hair, but as I said, the makeup look is going to be in a separate tutorial and I'll link you all up to that. But for the hair, I did this on day old hair, just because that's what I did, no particular reason. But what it does mean is I very slightly curled my hair yesterday just using a big barrel curling iron, so it does have a little bit of bend to the back of the hair. So I haven't bothered doing any curling at the back, but by all means, if you prefer to, go ahead and do that. If you've got short bobbed hair, you are in a fantastic position. I would just say do small curls at the back and just leave it down. But if you've got longer hair like me, what we're going to do for this look is actually do just a very simple little low bun. I'm not going to show you hugely how to do this because it's quite self-explanatory. I am just doing a bun. So the kind of clips that you are going to need though are these kind of pins. So it's not grips or bobby pins, it's the wider ones because these are good for bun making.
You're mad on dances, think of the chances you neglect. You never seem inclined to use your mind, and it's quite plain to see that I'm the brains of the family. Take a lesson from me.
So, for this bit, what we're trying to create, which I maybe didn't explain very well at the beginning, is basically fake finger waves. Finger waving, I personally find is difficult. It's not something that I categorically cannot do, but I find it very difficult to do, very time consuming, and let's face it, unless you're somebody who is going to want a finger waved look all the time, you're probably going to be using finger waved looks for things like parties, in which case, if you can fake it, great, which is basically what I'm going to be doing here. So take a gentle brush and just brush out the curls very gently. And hopefully that's going to help to create our waves. Now, I am actually going to do something which may seem a bit silly, because we've just spent the time curling the hair. I'm actually going to wet the hair down a little bit to help us move the curves in the way that we want them. So, you know, we're going to be creating sort of this kind of effect. So, in fact, even if you really didn't want to do very much, you could just take these curls, pin them in place like that, and that's pretty much it sort of creates a fake little bob there, and that's quite a good look in itself. So give that a go, let me know how you get on. But I'm going to be working on this side to begin with, so we're going to be using some of the basic finger waving techniques to try and get that curve in, but we're going to be using grips to secure it in place. So I'm just spraying that down with a setting lotion ever so slightly, and we may have to spray it down a little bit more later on. So the basics of a finger wave are that you brush it in opposite directions, and that creates your wave. So you're going forward in a very dramatic fashion, and what I would say here is create your first row of clips. So quite close in to the hairline, and that just creates a nice secure base. Basically, when you're finger waving, you do this with wave clips and you would take them out, but what we're going to do here is cover them with a scarf, so we're not taking them out. So you don't have to worry too much about it. So you're brushing everything down, like so. Hold on to these bits, and then brush in the opposite direction. And do you see there how we've started to create a wave? Now again, this is not a finger waving tutorial, so what you want to do is kind of create the impression of a wave. So use your comb to do that. So I'm going to pin there, but what's going to happen now is that this is probably going to bounce up slightly, do you see? Now again, all this bit is going to be covered, so to try and anchor it in place, you can put a bobby pin, a grip, right down the centre, and that should help to secure it down. Like so. Like that. When you've got the scarf on, you can then pull on the bits that you need to. I'm going to just wet this down a little bit more so it's easier to manipulate, and it's going to sit where I want it to sit. Like that. Okay, so then we go on to create the next bit. So we've gone up, so now we're going back down again. So hold on to that particular pin there. Hold on to the middle bit and go in the opposite direction to help create your wave. And pin it. So do you see how we've already formed a nice little wave there? Okay, now with these bits, what we're going to do is create the illusion of having bobbed hair. So wet that down slightly, gently brush it. Bring that curl to the end, and I'd wet that down maybe a little bit more, and what you're going to be doing is almost pin curling it and creating that loop. So you take your pin and you just pin the loop that is closest to the hairline in place. Like that. So we've basically created 3 waves here. So we're just going to be doing the same with this side.
Something's got you, I don't know what you hope to gain. And after all I've done, it's not much fun to have a sister who's got her brain in her dancing shoes. So take a lesson from me.
I'd rather Charleston.
Charleston, when you're older you'll see.
I'd rather Charleston.
In fact, with this side, because this is the smaller side, we've got 3 there, so we're only going to get 2 in this one. So,
Charleston, a great improvement I looked for in you.
I like this movement. It makes you plastic, just like elastic.
Say, don't you ever keep cool?
I'd rather Charleston.
Charleston, oh, that's the sort of thing silly people do. Hey.
so I'm quite happy with this. What you could do is, because it's a little bit wet, you could go ahead and let that dry a little bit before you put your scarf on, but for the sake of this video I'm just going to go ahead and put the scarf on. The scarf I've got is actually from the 1970s, I think. It was my mum's scarf. I nicked it from her wardrobe, as I'm sure most girls out there do. It's, in fact, it's a long, I don't know if you can see that there, it's a longer scarf. It's not square, it's rectangular. It's a long rectangle. But I thought, even though it's from the 70s, it has a lot of kind of 1930s sort of print on it. You know, it's all quite geometric, and that's kind of what it was about. I like the ends on it as well. I just thought it was ideal for this tutorial. What you do want is a long scarf because you want sort of the ends to come down. Also, the colour was nice and bold and bright. What we're going to be doing though is you don't want the whole length of that, so just fold it into an appropriate sort of width. You're just going to place it quite far forwards because you're covering quite a lot of the hair and the clips. Bring it around the back, underneath your little bun, still keeping it over the ears though, and just tying in a knot. I do it quite loosely to begin with, the first tie, just because what you want to do is sort of check the placement of everything. See, there was a clip there that was showing and I just pushed that back. Just so it looks like you've just got naturally finger waved hair under there. When you're happy with the placement, tighten it slightly and finish your knot off. I don't do a bow, I just leave it down. You might want to move it slightly so it's sort of sitting kind of behind the ear there, and then take a couple of your pins and just secure it right at the back where you can't see it. So secure the scarf onto your hair so that way it's not going to slip. And the pins are kind of hidden behind your ear. And that there is it. It's a really nice, simple look. It looks so effective, yet it's minimal effort, and I guarantee people will be really impressed by the way that this looks and how you've managed to finger wave your hair, even though you haven't, so it's your own little secret. I'm just going to show it to you. And from the back. So, get your best flapper girl dress on. I hope you enjoy this look. As you can tell, because I'm so enthusiastic, it's embarrassing, I really enjoy this look, and make sure you check out the makeup tutorial as well to go with it. Take care, bye. Hi guys, just me again. I just wanted to let you know that when I was taking this down, I decided just to see how the waves had set, because I did use the setting lotion and the water and setting lotion as I was doing it. So I gently took all the pins out, and as you can see, it's actually set. So I thought you might want to know that in case you didn't want to do the look with the scarf and you just wanted to have a finger wave. It's not an authentic finger wave, but it definitely gives the illusion of a finger wave. What I would do if I were you doing this is when you take out the clips, take them out very gently. If you did want to, you can, again, very gently take a comb and just run it through slightly, but be very, very careful with it because you don't want to disturb the wave. Take hairspray it down, and make sure that's nice and secure before you go out. But I just wanted to let you know that this look can also be done without the scarf and without the pins, so you don't have to hide them all. Anyway, I hope that was useful. Bye.